So, if you've been watching for a little while, you've probably figured out that I'm a huge fan of the Fallout series, and especially Fallout New Vegas. You know, it doesn't get much better than that. And this wouldn't be my first Fallout build that I've done. I've technically done, I think, 2 more that were straight out of the Fallout games, and a couple others that are technically in-game, but they also exist in real life because, you know, video games take stuff from real life. Not important. Anyway, so I've wanted to do this for a while after my last Fallout build, or not my last Fallout build, but the Legion machete that I made. Got a lot of comments on it from other people that usually don't watch my channel because they all came from Discord. Anyway, that kind of made me want to do another video. That was a couple months ago. I'm just now getting around to it because I've been busy with other things because, you know, life. And, you know, I have a long list of projects that I want to do. But I'm finally getting around to it. This is the, it's labeled as the Gladius. I think it's just the Gladius. I think it's just called the Gladius. Although, to anyone who actually knows knives will say it's a kukri, which it is. Just kind of a slightly different handle. But it'll be labeled as a Gladius because in-game it is called a Gladius. So, I think this is a blade that is carried by the Legion, like high-ranking Legionnaires in New Vegas. I haven't seen it outside of them using it in the game. I possibly just haven't found it though. But I do know high-ranking Legionnaires carry this particular weapon. And, of course, you know, Fallout New Vegas and kukris. I love both. I usually don't side with the Legion. I'm more of an NCR girl, but, personal choice. It is just a game. Anyway, so I'm going to start as I usually do. Just a chunk of leaf spring. And you can see it's dented from the side. You know, very post-apocalyptic. I use it because it's cheap. You know, that's what I have. Basic strategy, hammer at the shape, grind the shape, put a handle on it. It's pretty straightforward at this point. Okay, now that I have the rough forging of the blade done, I also just cut out the tang a little bit just to keep it simple. I'm gonna start grinding it to shape, finish it up a little bit. I was originally gonna grind the flats of this, but in the game, it's kind of hard to tell. It looks rough, but it looks like it's rough due to age and, you know, the rough environment of the Fallout world, as opposed to just left rough forged like the machetes would have been. I don't really know which is the case. It's kind of hard to tell with the game, and, you know, the details basically, the details online are basically that the weapon exists and some of the base stats. So I'm just gonna leave it rough because I think it's the only way to actually give it that aged look without leaving it out in the weather for a few weeks. And I'm not that patient. So I'm just gonna leave it rough and just grind in my edge, as well as just grinding it to basic shape. Once I get done with the grinding, I'm going to go ahead and make my guard and handle. The guard, of course, I'm going to forge up a railroad spike and then hot cut a hole in that and then hammer it where it fits on this perfectly. I've tried filing them out and that is a pain. I don't like doing it. So I'm just going to forge it to shape, so that way to, you know, save me some work. And then I always just take a piece of wood, I burn the hole in it for the handle, so it's just a lot easier to do it that way. I probably won't show it in order. I'll probably, you know, do the whole blade thing and then do everything after that, but I hate to treat the blade after I get the stuff fitted for that so I don't ruin the heat treat. So if it's out of order, that's why, but, you know, editing and all that. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking and go start grinding. Okay, so I got a chunk of hickory cut here. Hole's a little off center, but that won't really matter once I'm done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blade, just kind of sitting there, Gonna heat up the tang and burn a hole in this. I've been out here a lot longer than I wanted to be. Sitting in my shop for what, week and a half, 2 weeks. I honestly don't even remember at this point, but then again, I don't remember much. So, you know, it happens. I didn't have any linseed oil to finish up this, and I didn't want to finish that until I actually had, you know, linseed oil. So it sat in my shop for a while, and then, you know, I went to get linseed oil and, well, forgot to get linseed oil. You know, fun. So, now I'm here, finally getting around to it. I just realized I can't find my glue. Never mind, there it is. Okay, my basic plan for something like this is I just put a bit of this E6000 epoxy. I like it for this stuff because it's got some flex to it. Not that it probably needs it. Blade this heavy though, you never know. So, I haven't used this stuff in forever. Okay, definitely didn't use blacksmith tongs on that. You can't prove anything. But I just put fill this little space here with it. Gotta remember how this goes. I think it's this way. Maybe it's the other way. Nope. First way. And then with this one, usually I would peen it out, but since I started threading them, it's just screws on. The epoxy will act as kind of a thread lock, keeping everything together. Where are my pliers? I'm disorganized and scatterbrains this evening, so blacksmithing tongs will do. It's too much. Oh. And there we go. The Fallout, not Copus, Gladius. Different empires there. The Fallout Gladius. Technically more of a kukri, but you know, the name calls it a Gladius. for some reason. It's honestly a weapon I've never really used much in Fallout New Vegas, but I've also... I don't think I've ever actually played a... No, I don't think I've ever played a melee character in Fallout New Vegas. I usually go stealth sniper. Last time I just went explosives. Explosives is actually pretty fun. But I don't think I've ever actually done just a strictly melee character. Maybe I'll have to do that sometime. Anyway, this is another kind of fun Fallout build. Since it's out in my shop a little bit, there's a bit of rust and stuff on the blade, but it's Fallout, you know, it's gonna happen. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed and hope to see you next time.